Hi everyone and welcome to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to explain to you what are Docker images and what are Docker containers. Let me start like this. When I was younger, I used to have a desktop computer with Windows OS. Once in a while, I got a feeling that my computer slowed down. The story may be familiar to you too. Then I reinstalled my operating system. If you remember, it took some time. Afterwards, I had to reinstall and reconfigure MS Office, video and music player and codecs, Internet Explorer, and many other stuff. Altogether, it was a redundant and boring job. Then I learned how to make a snapshot of my freshly installed operating system and applications and stored it on external hard drive and restore it when it was needed. Similarly, you can take any environment that you use for development or production. Let's say that you need to install PHP, Docker, Vim, Nginx, Git, and so on. It will be time-consuming to do the whole process every time when you want to start or deploy a new project. Therefore, you can do it once and preserve all the configuration. That we call Docker image, and its definition we would keep in Docker file. Nowadays, you don't have to keep such an image on your computer. You could upload it to the Docker Hub or any other cloud provider, such as AWS ECR or any other. You can make it public or private. It will be accessible from any other location on the internet. Regardless of where you store your image, when you execute Docker commands, Docker would access and download them if they are not present on your hard drive. Important moment is when you execute Docker run command. It will create a container out of your image. You can create not just one, but multiple containers of a single image which will work in parallel. There is no limitation of how many images and containers you could have. The limit is your computer size. Therefore, you can imagine a scenario when you can spawn a container for every service, your web server, PHP, databases, and so on. Each container can communicate with your host and vice versa. Equally important, containers can communicate with each other. This is very powerful. If you execute Docker pull, it would just download the image on your hard drive. Docker build will create a new image locally. But further, won't anything happen. They will remain laying on your hard drive. As I mentioned earlier, once when you execute Docker run, then the transition is happening. In that process, you can say to Docker how your container should be configured. You can give it a name, bind a port, mount a volume. You can define and override the default command known as entry point and so on. As a result, you will have a running container. For example, you can configure that what comes to localhost 8080 goes to containers port 80. Or you can share a directory between your host and the container. And whatever changes you make in that directory, it will be visible on both sides. So much for this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you liked, please press the like button. If you would like to see more, consider to subscribe. Thanks for watching.